Tonight at 5, gone too soon. That's what colleagues said today about IMPD Deputy Chief Jim Waters.
They gathered at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis to honor the man who dedicated his entire life to service. Waters died on Thursday after a car crash back on July 23rd. His family did not want us to carry his funeral live out of respect for Southport Lieutenant Aaron Allen, who was killed in the line of duty on the same day.
Our coverage begins tonight at 5 with Jenny Runovich. She's at Crown Hill Cemetery, Waters' final resting place. Jenny?
And Scott and Andrea, we're in the Heroes of Public Safety section here at Crown Hill Cemetery. It is reserved for public servants, the men and women who dedicated their lives to lifting up our community and protecting it. So it is only fitting that this is the final resting place for Deputy Chief James Waters. Among fellow heroes, fellow officers today gave their final farewell this afternoon. This was a brief but poignant graveside service steeped in tradition. Bagpipes played Amazing Grace, and IMPD buglers played taps to conclude the service. The honor guard, made up of 8 members, performed the flag folding ceremony. Then Chief Roach presented the flag to Deputy Chief Waters' wife, Sherry. Hundreds of officers were here to witness this service, saluting their fallen brother in blue. They say it's the traditions through the police department and here at Crown Hill that helps them say goodbye to such a great friend and fellow officer.
I think it helps provide closure for us, and it honors somebody that has contributed so much to our city, somebody that we've looked up to for so long, and somebody that's been a great friend and public servant.
And we asked the lieutenant what he'll miss most about Deputy Chief Waters. He said it was that smile, that open, warm heart with which he greeted everyone he met. This is the spot where family and fellow officers can come to mourn, and what a beautiful spot. As they said today during the service, it is a peaceful place among the pines. Scott and Andrea.
All right, Jenny, thanks so much.
Well, earlier today, nearly 1,000 people attended Jim Waters' funeral.
Yeah, there were tears, laughter, and gratitude for a life lived helping others. Our Rich Van White continues our team coverage.
Jim Waters' wife and children, people he loved, officers he worked with, city leaders he depended on, everyday folks, people he served, they all heard a lot about the grace Waters brought to life. Mayor Joe Hogg said,
he was a tireless public servant. He was an unapologetically cheerful officer. He was a kind friend.
And by all accounts, a great cop.
Jim used to tell suspects during interrogations not to mistake his kindness for weakness, and that was very good advice. Jim was anything but weak.
But Waters, we learned, was a manipulator, getting his bosses to see things his way and do the right thing for others. Chief Brian Roach was a frequent victim.
I often pictured him walking outside my office doing an arm pump and then rubbing his hands together like, who's next? Not in a demonic sense, but more of a big fairy godmother.
A 6'5" godmother, husband, father, and grandfather who liked Elvis and planes. Pastor Mike Perry recounted the day Pilot Waters got caught in the clouds with his wife.
We'll get out of here. It's no big deal. And sure enough, they flew out of there without even scraping the mountains of Tennessee. And I'm sure that Sherry was as calm and cool and collective as could be, and she learned that from Jim.
It appears people learned a lot from Jim Waters. The mayor urged the city to live as Waters lived, served as he served, and loved as he loved.
To a lot of people, the deputy chief will be remembered as someone who was here to serve, not be served, and in the process, not worrying about who got the credit. Scott?
You were there today. What did you feel was the most poignant moment of that service?
Well, other than the fact that his wife is shaking her head, no, it didn't go okay in that airplane. I think the most important thing was when people talked about the fact there's one granddaughter, another one coming, that the deputy chief is not going to have an opportunity to spoil rotten.
Oh. And he was known by those grandkids as Popo.
Yes,
Yeah.
and spoiled the girl.
All right, Rich Van Wyck, thanks. Well, we want to show you one of the most moving parts of any public servant's funeral, the show of force that comes to pay their final respects. You're looking at the procession of hundreds of IMPD squad cars making their way to Crown Hill Cemetery today. State police officers helped with traffic control so more IMPD officers could attend today's ceremony.
And Waters served IMPD for nearly 30 years, first as a civilian employee and then as an officer. He was commander of the East District from 2011 to 2014. In fact, one of his favorite pictures, take a look at this. This is of him with his team outside of the East District headquarters. Our coverage continues tonight at 5 o'clock with our Kevin Rader with how those on the city's east side honored Waters today. Kevin?
Yeah, this procession was particularly poignant here on the east side. This is where Deputy Chief Waters cut his teeth, as has been pointed out. His body was brought by his old precinct, where current officers stood at attention by their cars when the hearse passed by. Mounted police stood at attention as well on both sides of Waters' portrait, and people lined the opposite side of the street to watch all this silently as the procession passed.
My dad's a firefighter in Pike Township, so kind of grew up around, around these quality of people and public servants, and, it's a man who came and put his life in front of ours, and that deserves the utmost respect. So yeah, just want to come by and, do the little I can, I guess.
I just loved him to death, and he was so kind, so friendly. He was down, he brought your spirits up. He just was an all-around guy, and he'll be sadly missed, very sadly missed.
In all, the procession here in the East District lasted about 20 minutes. It was a true reflection of the high esteem for which he is held. The hearse did not stop as it came by here in the East District. There was some speculation it might, but it didn't hurt the poignancy here today. Andrea?
Kevin Rader reporting live tonight from the East District. Thank you. And for complete coverage of the funeral as well as reaction, go to our website at WTHR.com. We have video and even pictures from the moving service and the procession through town to Waters' final resting place.